All right, and it says we are live. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Under Gunline Podcast YouTube channel, the only place where you'll get some uncensored, unfiltered, and unedited conversation, and unbiased, kind of biased. I don't know, unbiased. I try to have different perspectives, different points of views, and like for example, yesterday I had my homeboy Lee Hunt, who's my brother from another mother. We served together, and he is definitely left leaning, tree hugging, save the whales, all the way up there. But he loves his 2A. And today I want to go ahead and flip it to someone who is more on the, I guess you could say, Trump train per se, who definitely is conservative and holds ideas opposite or ideologies or politics opposite of Hunt and hear his perspective. And today I want to go ahead and discuss, let me introduce y'all over here to Mr. Daniel Lopez. He was also in the military, served in the United States Army. We served at the same time, except I ended up leaving the unit when he came to the unit. So he also knows Lee Hunt. We're all in the same hemisphere together, I guess you could say. But anyway, welcome, man. How you doing today, Lopez?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
I am out here still reeling in and tripping out on how many conspiracies are now popular with the
Just
shoot. Well,
specifically with the assassination attempt?
Well, yeah, or the incident, as they like to say. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
a trip, dog. I mean, what are your thoughts, first of all? Like when you heard the news that it had occurred, what came to your mind?
So I wasn't surprised. Like I remember I was in my room watching YouTube. I was just watching a live YouTube about hip hop, and it kind of came across like, oh shit, Trump was just shot at. So
Mm-hmm.
immediately I go to the live feed of his rally, and I just hit rewind, and I see what happened. I wasn't surprised. In fact, I'm more surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Yeah.
'Cause I for sure thought at some point during his first term when he was
Mm-hmm.
president, I thought that was a possibility. Then I thought, as it started to ramp up more with like them trying to prosecute him and that not working quite how they thought it would, I was like, man, like I can see somebody attempting it. I never
Right.
thought it would get as close as it did because I had more faith in the Secret Service.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah, I had more faith in the Secret Service. I thought somebody would attempt it. I just never thought it would be that close. So I wasn't surprised. But yeah, it was definitely it's shocking to see, right? Like in this time frame, you know about the historical shit. Excuse
Right.
my language. You know about the historical stuff
You can
that
cuss all you
happened
want, right?
with JFK and Abe Lincoln and even Roosevelt. Like what happened, but you
Mm-hmm.
never think that you'll be part of that lifetime where you see it happen. So
In your
that was
generation,
shocking. Yeah, in my generation. So that was shocking, especially someone that you support.
right?
You know, because in my head, the first thing that came to mind, I didn't know the extent of the injuries. It was like, man, what if this is it? What happens now?
Mm-hmm.
Like what happens as far as politically? What happens as far as socially? And
Who would take the
I'm glad.
reins?
Right. Not
Yeah,
just who, because he's gonna say who's his VP tonight, but then again, even that person, whoever he picks, wasn't elected. It's the people didn't
exactly.
choose that. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. It was weird, and everything, thank God, turned out not terribly.
You know what trips me out is the amount of of people that were showing like support. Hey, what's going on, Kramer? What's going on, big timer? What trips me out is the amount of people that went ahead and are like upset or sad that this attempt in his life didn't come to fruition. That that they
Yeah,
missed per se. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
when I
that's
heard that,
weird.
bro, I mean that is some crap. That what is wrong with these people? You know what I mean? It's like what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Well,
Hoping or wishing death.
you
One
can't
thing.
blame those people.
Well, I mean, I don't know,
You
bro.
can't.
How so? Explain.
You can't blame people, right? Let's say let's say somebody is a staunch liberal. They watch the
Mhm.
news every day. They hear every day how Trump is Hitler, how Trump is evil, how Trump's a threat to democracy, how Trump's a racist, how he's a xenophobe. Now, those may not be true, but in their
Right.
mind, it's true. They've been fed, force fed, since 2016, actually 2015. They've been force fed how evil this man is.
Right.
So if you were told Hitler got shot at, what would you say? But they missed. What would you say? Now, I'm not
See,
saying he is Hitler. I'm just saying these people have
no.
been indoctrinated to believe that he is somewhat equal to that stature of evil.
Right.
So I don't
And you know
blame the
what?
people that say that. That's a terrible sentiment. They shouldn't say that. But like, I understand why they feel that way.
But see, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and I don't like that narrative simply because then that would go ahead and fall in line with those that blame Trump for what happened on January 6th. You see what I'm saying?
I don't see the correlation there.
That they
I
were
don't.
influenced by others' words or rhetoric.
Yeah, no, and that may be the case. And I do believe the people from January 6th were influenced by other words and rhetoric. I just don't believe it was Trump's. There was actually people there saying, "Hey, let's barricade. Let's go. Let's break the barricade. Let's go in." There was people's words and rhetoric there that were getting them to commit an action. I
Mhm.
just don't believe it was Trump's words.
Right.
You can't say that peacefully and patriotically turned somehow into go into the into the Capitol.
Well, I mean, I think it would go again. I'm just going against the grain a bit, but not
Right, right.
much. But it was mainly to because it would be okay for those that say that that he never conceded, that he put up the narrative that that the election was stolen, that we need to take it back. So
Mhm,
people hear stuff like that and they're going to interpret it one way, another person's going to
mhm,
interpret it a different way. But you see what I'm saying?
mhm,
Like I'm pulling the spin on it that I know that the left, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So
mhm,
like Tulsi, I love Tulsi and I hope that she gets the nod. I doubt it, but I hope that she does get the nod to be the VP. But she said, like, she was saying the same thing you're saying right now. Like, Biden has said something like, it's time to stop messing around and put a bullseye on him. You know what I
mhm. He
mean?
said that to his donors. Yeah.
Now, and the thing is that obviously that's not what he meant. You know what I mean? It's just, see, we can't
I
say
can't say
that, bro.
obviously. I can't say obviously that's not
I
what he
mean,
meant.
I mean,
If
I would,
Trump saying peacefully and patriotically can be turned into he was inciting violence, then how is a
right.
person speaking to his donor base saying it's time to put the bullseye on Trump? You can
And
twist
that's
that.
exactly what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. You see how the left spits one thing one way, so the right's going to
Oh yeah,
spin the other way. So,
they're
so
hypocrites. They're
and
contradictory.
and that's exactly it, bro. And so with that, what it just trips me out, like how people are blaming, well, not blaming, but people are. I mean, I don't know. I'm wondering what was going through this 20-year-old's mind. Which, first of all, I don't think he acted alone. That's just going to be me, point blank. Period. My point of view, I don't think he acted alone. What do you think?
I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think he could have acted alone. I think so. Was he maybe the only shooter on the scene? Maybe, but did this guy not have help somewhere? I don't believe that.
Right. So we're
You'd
on the
have to
same
believe
page
the
on that.
yeah, you'd have to believe the Secret Service, local PD, and everybody is so incompetent that like this is like winning the lottery. Like everything has to go right. It's a big lucky chance, like for this to happen. Supposedly, right, with the security that he supposedly has, and it's just a random person chooses this random place and randomly is able to make it up to the roof and randomly is able to shoot, and it's just too much coincidence. And I know enough about the government to say, hey, I don't believe that to be the case. I
So,
believe there was help, or I believe there was some sort of plan in place to let this happen. That's my
100.
opinion. That's not based on
I'm
fact.
with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So Kramer says, I'm trying to word this correctly with news outlets, social media showing him saying negative remarks on other presidential elects, could that also be a reason why there was an attempt on his life? What do you think on that?
Oh yeah, that could be a reason. The media saying he called Mexicans this, or the media saying he called trans people. Any of those could be reasons, right?
Right.
We don't know. We don't know the motive. We have no explanation for why this guy went and did this. So anything is on the table right now. There could be any reason. It could also be, hey, this person was so my big two theories is that's the case, right? Like, okay, this guy was radicalized. Social media maybe influenced this dude to feel a certain type of way, along with mainstream media and legacy media.
Right.
And then also it's like this could be some kind of job that was a person was hired to do something. Maybe they thought they'd get away with it, maybe not. Maybe they didn't care about life, maybe they got paid. Who knows? But those are my two theories right now. Like, okay, he was radicalized by social media, mainstream media, legacy media, or he was part of some kind of plot when all else failed against Trump to do this. And that's where I'm leaning.
The latter. Yeah,
I'm and that's where I'm leaning too.
You know,
I don't think someone can be radicalized that much to that point where, I mean, it's possible, right? You see it, especially with like terrorists, but
yes,
with the security that this man should have had, it should not have worked. He should not have even gotten that close. And so that's why I believe the other side, where maybe it was a planned thing that was done.
No, 100%. I'm with you on that, man. You know, I wanted to let things like, you know, as days progress, we're going to find out more that they're going to.
We'll find out more what they want us to find out.
See, we're on the same page. I was going to say the same thing. They're going to feed us, you know, whatever they want to feed us. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I don't want to go down that same rabbit hole, because at the same time you have those that are saying it was a hoax, that it was you know.
No, that's stupid. That's dumb.
You know, like for example, I saw somebody saying like, "Oh, that's fake blood on his ear and on his face," and I'm like, okay, so was that?
But there's real dead people.
Matter? Yeah, was that fake brain matter? You know, that happened to be there on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So it just it just trips me the fuck out. And the security that he supposedly had, you know, I'm sorry, and this is gonna sound misogynistic as fuck. I know people already know how I feel about females.
No, there's not misogynistic. No, there's nothing misogynistic about that. Either you're able to do the job or you're not. Yeah, either you're able to do the job or you're not. And these women were not able to do the job.
Bro, to me, they looked like the Keystone Cops. I swear to God, all you needed was the
like Reno or something. Like the Reno. What was that fucking funny cop show? The Reno 911.
Yeah, Reno 911.
Like that. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. No, I agree, 100%.
Yeah, bro. You know what? I want to play something for our viewers, and you know, and it's just to show that I'm not trying to be biased. You know, I want them to see what I see, and you know, I'm sure you saw what I saw as well. But let's go ahead and share. Let's see here.
She's my favorite. She's the one that was hiding behind him and asking, "What do we do? What do we do?"
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
And then she can't host her gun. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
So we're gonna watch this video here of the Keystone fucking cops here from the Secret Service. Look at them. She looks lost in the sauce. And there's,
I mean, honestly, they both do. And then there's a third female that comes into this frame. That where was she this whole time?
She's up here.
Both of those females do. Yeah, both of those females do.
Broads and this one, and this one at least seems to know she has like a grasp of what she's doing. Look at the men around. They seem to be more professional. They have their sectors of fire. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Even before this clip, if you look at just the still photos of after Trump was shot, the men were the ones on top of him.
Oh yeah,
shielding him with their body. She's literally behind them, behind the pile over Trump, hunkering down, and you can hear her on the audio saying, "What do we do? What happens next? What do we do?" It's embarrassing.
You know, it is, bro. It really is. Because let's go ahead and continue with this Keystone Cop look. Look at this part right here. She does
fix my shades.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
She shoots her cuffs and bam, make sure I look good. This is my photo op. So let's see.
This is embarrassing.
It is. Look at them. And then right here's where they all look like, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? Which way am I going? Are we going this way? Are we going that way? Where are we going?
We get better performance from soldiers coming straight out of basic and AIT than these supposedly top of the line professionals with secret
That's what
clearances. It's
fucking
embarrassing.
kills me. That's what kills me about this Lopez. This is what kills me. Do they? I'm sure that they do fucking rock drills like we did. Prior
They
to
would have to,
ammunition.
right?
Yeah, you would think that they would do rock drills. For those that don't know what rock drills are, it's a rehearsal of concept. Basically,
Yep.
we go through our mission and we have an outline, we have maps, we have what we're gonna do through any fucking through our mission. And while we're going through that, we're gonna go ahead and throw hypotheticals or contingency plans. And I'm
That's
sure
it.
that they've practiced. I am sure that they practice 100 times. Hey, this is what's going to happen when we have to, take him out. When we have to pull him out. So Kramer has another question out here. He says, "Here's my question. They're an active threat, and she decides to holster. That's where I'm like, what the fuck?" Okay, so I think I'll give a crack at this one. So as far their job as the Secret Service at that point right there is to grab the president and swoop him out. That's their immediate job. Their priority is to get
Yep.
the president into that vehicle and be gone.
Yep.
So the ones with the ones that have their weapons are going to be the ones. Everybody has their own priorities. I would say their own sectors of fire, their own areas of operation. That's what I believe. I'm not a Secret Service person. I'm not 100%. I'm just going by what my military
Your
training
knowledge,
has taught
right?
me. Yeah, So that's just my thing. So I see what you're saying, Kramer. But remember, it's like when you have an inner cordon and an outer cordon. The inner cordon
Right.
is the one that would engage if there's something going on within there, while the outer cordon handles what's going on the outside. Which brings me,
100%.
yeah, which brings me to another thing. How the fuck do you have a dude with a rifle climb on top of a rooftop within 150 meters from the fucking president of the United States? I
150
don't
yards,
understand.
which is less.
Shit.
150
It,
yards,
it,
which is less.
yeah, it's amazing to me. Like, let me go ahead and pull this up again. I pulled up a few things because being that you were in the military, I was in the military. We're gonna give our basic our knowledge on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and share this screen right here, bro. It trips me out how. Let me make sure. Can you see the screen?
I can see it. Yep.
All right. So it trips me the fuck out how you have
Notice that's the only real building in the area.
bro.
That's the only real threat location target area you should be most worried about.
That being the closest to the venue, that why isn't there anyone up there or at least within that building patrolling it? Now, yeah, I get it. I'm Monday, what is it, Monday quarterbacking? Whatever it's
Yeah.
called, armchair quarterbacking.
Yep.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, again, I'll go to rehearsal of concept, our rock drills, even our con ops, before we used to go out on missions, we used to have an idea of where we were going, what were the threats, what were the rooftops, and we would have motherfuckers scanning their sectors. Now,
Yes.
as far as, so what are your thoughts on that, man?
No, you're absolutely right. Like that is there. It's a complete failure, and this is why. There is people that should be scanning sectors. There should have been a pre-op briefing of some sort. They should have cased out the area. They should have done their due diligence on everybody showing up, and they should have realized that that is the only threat area really there is in the vicinity. So I get the having the counter sniper team fixated on both sides. Like that makes perfect sense. But even still, you can have a count. There's no resources here that takes up too much that you can't have someone on that roof or in that vicinity clearing that building or holding that building. It's the only building really that can pose a threat to your location.
Yep.
And behind him, there's clearly something behind him where there's no, you can't shoot that way. You can't be from behind. So your only area that you'd have a vantage from is the one place where he went. That's why I said there's too many coincidences. It can't be Like this isn't the lottery. Like he didn't win the lottery by being able to get that close to shooting President Trump.
The only other thing that could come to mind is incompetence and complacency. This is the
Oh,
only
but
other
it'd
thing
have
that
to
comes to
be
mind.
it have to be at such a scale with different various factions of law enforcement. I just don't see, in my opinion, I don't think it
Right.
was either complacency or incompetence. Now, granted, incompetence did play a part, but it couldn't be that couldn't be the sole reason why this happened.
Did you hear about supposedly there was a fucking cop that climbed up, saw the shooter,
He
the
pointed the gun at
shooter
him.
targeted at him, and then I
He
guess
ran
he
away.
jumped off or dropped down.
Yeah.
So
He fled.
what kind of cowards are they hiring to be cops? You know what I'm saying? We saw that
Yeah.
happen out here in Texas at Uvalde, you
Yep.
know, and now we're seeing this happening within, because apparently local law enforcement was the one that was supposed to be in charge of that AO where the shooter
Yeah, that was the soft perimeter. That was
right.
So the
So-
Secret Service had the inner perimeter, the hard perimeter, and then the
Mhm.
local law enforcement had the soft perimeter, the outer perimeter.
So what do you like? Okay, again, I am not a fucking tactician. I never went to the fucking war colleges or anything like that. I'm just going off of like my experience of when we used to go fucking in Baghdad and Mosul, you know, and we used to go handle business out there. Why, first of all, for me, the first point that I would want to probably have somebody would be in that fucking water tower.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Now, and that's just me playing Call of Duty, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just me playing Call of Duty. And it trips me the fuck out how I want to know, honestly, my questions are, where were the other sniper teams? Because there couldn't have just been that one. Where were the other
There was
sniper
two.
teams? Okay.
There was two
And-
counter sniper teams.
But here's the
They
other
were both
question,
in the same
because-
area. One was facing this way, one was facing that way.
So here's the other question, though. As a sniper team, I don't think that their targets are within 150 yards or meters. I mean, they're looking out towards. I think I would guess that they're looking out further. You know, in
Not
the
necessarily.
distance
They're
of where
looking.
there might be any
They
other
should be.
threat.
Well, they should be. Well, they should be looking at the only areas of. They should have identified before even the day of the event. They should have identified what were the target areas where this one would totally
Right.
be one, and
Yep.
they should be scanning that. They should be scanning rooftops, windows, any place that a person could have a vantage point where they could actually make a realistic shot.
Right.
And there was woods back there, so like really, their only target area. And from what I've heard so far, they did spot this person, but they weren't sure because I guess
Yeah,
there
I
was
heard about
there was supposedly like a police presence that was supposed to go, and it probably was that cop that backed off.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as that cop, like I also don't think. Okay, maybe he was a coward, you know, but most law enforcement, they don't have a level 4A plus vest on. So like the what most police officers wear is made for pistols and not rifles. And so like I don't have a problem with him maybe backing up and reassessing the situation and coming back with the proper
Right.
people or proper equipment. My biggest thing is why at that moment wasn't Trump pulled off the stage? Like that's the first thing. Like why wasn't he immediately taken off? If you're telling me that the snipers had enough intel to know that there was probably somebody over there and there was a team
Right.
going over there to check it out, at that point it's already too late. Get Trump off the stage.
Facts.
And that's
know,
what I had the biggest thing about. Like, why is he still on the stage?
So even looking at this expanded fucking map that they have out here of where the gunman was, where the security was. Okay, so I see what you're saying as far as like, you know, you're probably the other team
Yeah.
and one team here. So yeah, most of the threat is coming from this area where the gunman was already. It boggles the fucking mind how. I mean, I'm assuming these are all assumptions on me, and these are my uninformed opinions. But wouldn't they have people do a walk around in the morning? You know, make sure all the doors are locked. Make sure that any way to climb that rooftop is fucking is you know covered up, or in some way, shape, or form cover up any kind of fucking access to that rooftop. And what sucks,
Right.
I will say this: what does suck for the snipers is that rooftop was is kind of like pitched, so they
Mhm.
couldn't see him as he was climbing up. So I will say that
Right.
you know I'll give them that. Now the problem that I have is the videos of them calling them out like, hey, there's somebody on that roof,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody doing a fucking thing about it.
Right. Yeah, that's the
That
biggest issue. Yeah.
how does something like that? I mean, there's just a breakdown of communication, a
Right.
breakdown in security,
Well, I
and
think
it
first,
all. Go
I
ahead.
think it's important for first to realize that this wasn't the normal Secret Service detail that a regular president would have, right? Like if that was
Right.
Obama when he was president, or Trump when he was president, or Biden now, like that would have been done. There would have the perimeter would have been larger.
Yep.
That building would have been part of the hard perimeter, and there would have been no one in that area. Only the people on the field, and then a larger distance from the people that are already been vetted and are at the place, and
Mhm.
then the outside world. There would have been a larger perimeter. So that's the biggest thing. But yeah, why did it take so long for any type of action? Why were shots fired before Trump was removed from the stage and this person was neutralized?
All wonderful questions that we'll never get answers to.
No, we'll never get answers to it. I mean, the Secret Service already did a press conference and they would not speak about it. Only thing they would speak about was the RNC happening today. They refused to answer anything about the rally.
You know, Ed, I get it. You don't want to jump to conclusions too quick, because then,
No, but you still have that's still a government agency that's funded by the people, and you still have some kind of obligation to be transparent with people as much as possible.
right,
Saying I won't talk about it at all, you won't even
right.
acknowledge that it happened. Like you won't say a word. That is a problem, and that is very fucking sketchy. And the people of the United States should be like, wait, what the fuck? We should
feel
be
you on
questioning
that.
if this was a problem.
Oh, I feel you on that. But I also think of kind of like when there's an investigation, you only want to release as much as you can, or as much as you want without
Yeah, but you don't
alerting.
refuse to acknowledge the event. You don't refuse to speak about it, period.
I'll say this. The fact that Biden refused to call it an assassination attempt when he first came out, that fucking, I was like, are you
Right.
fucking serious right now, dude? Like,
Right.
that's
Right.
not
Even if it's
catching.
even if it's a person that tried to jump on stage with a knife, that's an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
That's the easy.
So-
that was the biggest layup for him. He could have said that with the most confidence in the world.
It just trips me out. And then I'll say another thing. As far as like them releasing information, I agree with you that they should release information at least enough to dangle a carrot in front of us. But kind of
Well,
like
show the American people that you are accountable to them. That there is some sort of transparency. I'm not saying give out information that's going to hurt your case. I'm just saying like address it, acknowledge it, say something. Say there was a failure. This person should have never been able to get shots off at the president. Something. They refused to say a word about it. They said
refused accountability.
Flat out said not just that. They said like everyone thought Secret Service was holding a press conference to speak about this. They said we're not going to speak about yesterday's events, but we will tell you that there will be more security at the RNC. Like that. Well, at that point, why even have a press conference? Now you look like you're hiding something.
Right. So Kramer says, I'll agree with the inner outer cordon. Again, we don't know their protocols. If I'm not mistaken, Iraq inner was anything inside of 50 and the outer was outside of 150.
Oh, it was various. Yeah,
I was going to say.
We did a mission with Navy SEALs where it was the inner cordon was a lot smaller and the outer cordon was a lot bigger. But it just depends on, what the mission dictates and what are the, scenarios.
Yeah, it's all about the situation. And mission dictates. And
right.
I mean, I hated cordons. I hated
it was fun when we did it with the Navy SEAls, though. That was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun mission.
The only times I like doing the cordons was when I actually got to dismount and go doing the house to house shit.
And often you didn't get to do that.
Exactly.
At least that was the case for us. Often we were the outer cordon, made sure nobody got in so they can do their thing.
Exactly. I hated that shit.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So I mean, it trips me out. I mean, I'm hoping that this does. Well, I was discussing with Hunt yesterday. Like, he has his theories. I mean, some of the stuff he says, I want to put some tinfoil on his shit.
Like it was Melania.
Yeah, bro. He was saying that Melania must have been, he would have thought that she had something to do with it, and I think that we need to look at who has the most to gain out of this. Because the thing is,
obvious.
Well, I mean, if you think, and this is going to be me, and I know I'm going to go off some weird shit here, but it could go either Republican, it could go either Democrat, because both of them don't like him. Trump is a Republican only because he could get the nomination through, because we're a two-party system. But that's why they call them, Trump Republicans. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, there's a lot of Republicans that don't like Trump. Yeah. They're establishment Republicans that work more with Democrats than they would with Trump. So yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And who has not only that, but I mean, who has the fear? And this is where it comes to me. Trump gets elected, Ukraine is going to be over quick. I already see that happen.
I agree.
He will negotiate, and he will negotiate fucking, okay, hey, you know what? You keep these provinces you already got. That's it. We're done. No, they don't get NATO.
I think if he gets elected, it'll be a lot. I think there'll be a lot less war. I think Israel and Palestine, there'll be something going on there. Because he had the peace accords before he left office the first time.
Bro,
So I think he would definitely, right. I think he would definitely, it would disrupt a lot of the establishment if Trump got elected.
That's the biggest thing. It's going to fuck up a lot of
on both ends, Republican and Democrat. I agree.
Everybody that likes to go worship that owl over there in fucking, what is it, Bohemian Grove? All those people are going to be mad because he's disturbing the fucking, the big picture. And I do believe that, that's the biggest threat that he poses. Look, man, is Trump my first selection for president? No, he isn't. There's a lot of others that I would like. But being that I have to get the lesser of two evils, I'll take Trump all day over Sleepy Joe. The left doesn't have anyone. I don't think that there's anyone on the left that I could agree with at all. I don't consider myself a Republican.
Well, that's because the people on the left that were decent people are no longer even accepted by the left. They're more considered right now because the left had this strategy, and it started back with Bush. And I like Tulsi Gabbard. I don't agree with everything she says, but I like her.
Yep.
But the left has a strategy that goes all the way back to Bush's, where we got to demonize anybody who doesn't agree with everything we say. So therefore, if there's someone that considers themselves a liberal or on the left, that if they say something that maybe seem moderate to most Americans, where most Americans would agree with, but it's not part of the left's agenda, they're going to demonize them, and they're no longer part of the left. They're not with us because they don't agree with us.
Right.
Where I think, and that happened on the right too. Like that happened with Trump. There was, especially in 2016, there was a lot of Republicans that hated Trump. There still are a lot, but a lot less now. Well, but I don't think the right definitely demonizes as much as the left does. I think that their strategy is to make anybody that doesn't agree with them so evil that they can't be part of that party. And so now they're pushing them more towards the middle. And anything in the middle is conservative to the left.
My thoughts on what you're saying there is, let's go back to those that like Trump and don't like Trump, that are within the same party. I think those that do side with Trump now is because it's in their best interest. You know what I mean?
A lot of Republicans, I agree with that.
Because I hate to say this, man, but if you clown my old lady or you talk crazy to me on a personal level, we're gonna have issues. We're gonna be fucking fighting. And the way that these guys are kissing his ass now after he dogged them, to me, that's very very hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? And it shows that they're only in it because, to me, it benefits them. How do you forgive something like that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, again, I'm not a fan of his fucking, hey, what's going on, Gunner? What's going on? Gunners Collective. Just a big shout out, Gunners Collective. If y'all don't know, go tap into Gunners Collective TV and, let them know that Lopez sent you. Just did an interview with him a couple of days ago, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the tap in. But so I think that, again, I don't know how do you reconcile that? The motherfucker out there talking shit about you and your family, and then you go out there and become his boot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have my theories. I think a lot on the right are very religious, right? Or they portray themselves to be religious, and so they always want to forgive, and I agree with you that it does benefit a lot of them, and there are some Republicans that are even being fake about it, right? You saw it with his cabinet, right? Like these people will say one thing to him, he appoints them to do this or this, but behind his back, they're sabotaging him. And I just credit that to being part of the deep state, right? There's Republicans, Democrats, and everyone in between that are part of the deep state, where they will say something to your face, but behind your back, do something different.
All right, do me a favor. If you could explain what is the deep state, like what exactly does that entail?
Well, the deep state is basically the government, right? Like the government becoming bigger than the people. So this country was founded upon the people appointing the government, and it is for the people of the people, right? Like every normal day American is supposed to be able to have a say in their what they do throughout their lives, and they're supposed to be able to, if they wanted to, be a part of that government and have the control over their own lives. The deep state has become it's a system that has worked within the system that has become its own system, where now they control everything that happens, and really the people have no say. They manipulate. They have the money, they have the resources, and they create the laws. And it's literally big pharma, big companies, congressmen, senators that are bought out, and they show you something, but really they're doing this. They're putting that fine print down at the bottom. Okay, this is what we're really cramming in there. And the deep state is just it's its own organism that has now worked within the system and used the system to gain its own advantage, to create its own way, and now they control everything.
So I got some breaking news here. According to Kramer, Trump just announced that Ohio Senator J.D. Vance is his running mate.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Is he that young dude? Is he the young dude that said he was going to be a never Trumper?
I don't know his age. Let me look.
You're right. They do pull the strings behind the scenes. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, they do it within the system. They created, so they worked within the system to create their own like little cocoon, their own little system that, you know, in the shadows can create and control everything they want to control.
Let me ask you, what do you know about Project 2025? And are you believing the hype?
Not much, right? Like I've heard about it. I know that it's not Trump's program. I know it's not his project. I know a lot of people are trying to push it on him like it is his, but it's not. I think if you look at Trump's like his plan for running and what he would do as a president, it's nothing like that. So I didn't pay it too much mind. I think it's just, it could have been something created by his opponents that people to make people fear, and it could be like their last ditch effort to try to have a reason. Excuse me, Derek, I'm on the phone, please get out of here. It could be their like last ditch effort to try to create a narrative or something that maybe gives them some kind of edge in getting votes. But I don't get paid too much mind. I don't know much about it. I'm not gonna act like I do.
Me either. You know what's fucking funny about this 2025 project, or Project 2025? I found out about it about 6 to 8 months ago. And the only way I found out about it was because of my oldest daughter. And she was like, what do you think about Project 2025? My daughter's 13 years old, bro.
How does she know about it?
Thank you. It was apparently on the Toxic Tick that she received it.
Really?
They're using Project 2025 as part of their agenda to scare people away from Trump. 100%. And it's all it is fear mongering.
It doesn't even align. It doesn't even align with his values and what he wants to do for America. If you just take a look at his you know, his proclamation for what he wants done, it doesn't even, they don't even align.
Thank you. And you know, and let's see, Kramer says tinfoil time. It's like aliens. If you give all the information and not control it, you could mass panic our hysteria in the population. So any news? Okay, you know what, Kramer? I know your ass is from down south, bumfuck, Louisiana, Cajun country. Grammar, baby, grammar. That is the reason you were a 13 Bravo, pull string, go boom. But yeah,
I'll tell you what, anything that gets picked up and spreads so rapidly, we didn't hear about it before this election year. Even this election cycle, we didn't hear about it early in the cycle. We're at the end of the election cycle. Voting is in November. And anything that picks up steam that fast,
yeah,
and it's spread by all the fucking legacy media, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, TikTok, anything that is spread that fast, I have to sit back and go, wait, why am I getting all of this information now? And why is everyone picking it up?
You know what's funny, dog? I'm thinking about it right now, and I remember about 2 years ago when I was doing the podcast with Hunt, I had said like, if I wanted to invade or do a war against the U.S., I wouldn't do it with people,
You can't.
invading. I would do it digitally. I would
Yes.
fucking use propaganda like on TikTok to
Yep.
divide the country,
Yes.
divide the people,
We're,
and
we're,
have them.
our country is invadable. You know what I mean? It's impenetrable. The only
Yeah,
way to beat us, the only way for us to be destroyed as a nation is from within. We need to destroy ourselves. You're 100%
and
right.
that's the thing. So my theory was, this is just me thinking retardedly. I would divide the people up like we are right now, and get it to the point where they take arms against each other. And then let's say I'm China, I'd be like, hey,
Why do you
I'll
say that's
support
thinking
you.
retardedly?
I don't know. I mean, this was a
Because you're
couple years ago.
100% right, though. Like, yeah,
I was
you're
made,
right.
and what's funny is I was made to sound like I was retarded for it. I was like, nah, dog, I would divide y'all up, and then I'll choose the winning side and be like, hey, guess what? I'm China. I'll support you with arms and money to get your government, but you're gonna give me a piece of your land. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I would do it. So let's see.
You're 100% right. It's the only way to do it.
That last push influences people, like the grocery store. They put things out you think you need the counter. It's compulsive buy. Exactly.
Yes, he's right. He's right. Well, and it's their last grasp, right? Like people that don't want to vote for Trump, they have nothing left. So what do? They grasp at, like he said, that last thing in the aisle. It's all they have left. They can't. What are they going to say? He's a felon? Okay, so what? That made him more popular. And if you look at it, he got convicted on something no one else has ever been convicted of. It was a trumped up charge that no pun intended, it was a trumped up charge that they literally changed laws to be able to prosecute this guy. What are you going to talk about? Even though it got dismissed today, but they were still holding on to, the documents. He stole documents. Well, Biden did the same thing. He had him in his fucking garage in fucking Pennsylvania. Yep. So it's a last ditch effort, and now there's nothing. There's nothing they can grasp at. There's nothing they can say. Trump will be the president. As long as we can keep Trump safe and get him to the fucking November, he's gonna win.
Let me ask you, dog, why do you think that there's been such a surge in Latinos crossing not the border down south, but party lines, into now? I don't know if it's that we're finally realizing, hey, our values that we grew up with align with the conservative party. You know what I'm saying? But we were duped as youngsters or as younger adults in urban societies where I grew up at. It was pushed like, Democrat.
I'm from Jersey. Yeah, I'm from Jersey. Being liberal was like the only thing. They taught you things in school that led you down that path. Like I remember being in debate class.
Such a surge, though, as far as
I don't think it's been a surge. I think if you look at the last election, if you take away all the fake votes, Trump had already won over the highest percentage of Latinos and the highest percentage of Blacks in the history of the Republican Party since it started, right? Because obviously we know that Blacks and they started the Republican Party. But in modern history, in our lifetime, Trump had already won last election, 2020, the most votes for Blacks and Latinos. And it's just been a steady incline. You wake up, you realize. So you can only manipulate the masses. And I think it's just an evolution, right? Like I was a Democrat. A lot of Republicans were once Democrats. I think people, the older they get, the wiser they get, the more they pay attention, the more they pay taxes, the more they pay bills, the more they realize their money's being stolen from them, the more they wake up and realize, oh my God, I've been lied to this whole time.
Dude.
And I think that evolution is the same thing with Hispanics and Blacks.
It's like this quote that I had read out a couple of episodes ago, where it says, if you're young and a liberal, you have a heart. And if you're old and not conservative, you don't have a brain. You know, and that's 100% true, bro. That's 100%
true. The Democrat Party relies on people being ignorant. Being ignorant, low informed voters, they rely on that. They rely on young people. They brainwash them, and they hope they don't fucking realize that they've been lied to. and they rely on people that just watch. They read clickbait, they read headlines. They don't open up the article. They don't read. They don't fact check. That's what they rely on. Anybody that wakes up and the real wake up and does any type of information fact checking whatsoever, they're gonna eventually realize, like, oh my god, my life is gonna be way better under this side than under this side.
So,
and it's just natural evolution.
Gunners Collective TV says, as Raza, we are finally taking a stance against those that oppress the gente. Our eyes are finally opening to the fact that Trump's policies align with our fight for social status of equality. 100%. 100%.
Because before what they did was they told you Trump's a racist.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's border policies is racist. And so that right there, it invokes some kind of like neurologic response. It's like, oh my God, he doesn't like my people. He doesn't like my kind. But then when you start to realize, oh my God, well, what about, I got here legally. My family waited X amount of years to get here. My family had to fight to get here. My family had to work to be here. My family had to learn to be here. We wanted to be Americans. And when you realize that what Trump did was allowed you to come in the right way and not those people that are just coming over illegally to fucking sell drugs, to sell. Now, of course, there's going to be people that come illegally that don't want to do that. But the highest percentage of them come over, sell drugs, they traffic children. When you realize I'm a Mexican that came here legally, I'm living in fucking, what's the closest city to Mexico? Someplace in South Texas, right? Close to Mexico, or East Texas, close to Mexico. And now, why all of a sudden this guy becomes president, and now I got to worry about my kids going to school, getting drugs from someone, getting raped, getting kidnapped.
Right.
They're going to realize, holy shit, these are my people, but these aren't my people. My people are still in Mexico, or my people came here legally. These are people that look like me, that came here and they didn't want to do good. They're putting my family in harm's way.
Pero if you got to think about it like this as well. It's not just Raza coming through those borders. I hate to say it, but Lopez, you look a little bit, Abu Dhabi.
Iraqi?
You look a little, Durka Mohammed Jihad up in this motherfucker. So,
I've always gotten that, but it's them too. You're right.
So Roland says mainstream media needs to be held accountable for the narratives they push. Journalism ain't journalism anymore. For those are just reading scripts.
Facts. I disagree with that.
Well, as far as what?
Well, first of all, you have a right to your freedom of opinion and expression.
Well,
so what do you mean by hold them accountable? What do you mean about journalists, though?
Well, okay, it's gonna go. Let's go back to Gunner says you look a little Turkish. Well,
I'm Puerto Rican. I promise.
Earlier. Let's go back to what we were talking about earlier when we first started this. As far as like people being accountable for their words that they say. So, example was how the rhetoric that the left was spewing as far as comparing Trump to Hitler per se. Mm-hmm. And something's got to be done about it, blah blah blah. How that could have influenced that one dude to go ahead and do what he did. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think that's what he was getting at as far as media needs to be
and I understand that, and I hate media. I fucking hate media. You know what I mean? But you also have to realize that we are a nation built on rights, and everyone has the right to express their opinion. Now, I can lie to you right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's up to you to understand what the lie is and what isn't. Now, my issue with what he wrote was hold them accountable, because when Biden wins, what happens when he decides to hold you accountable for your podcast?
Yeah. Oh no, you're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right, because it all boils down to free speech. It all boils down to free speech. And you know what? Hate speech, whether people like it or not, is still free speech. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, what I agree with what he's saying. As far as being held accountable, it will be kind of like those that say something to incite. You know what I'm saying? Like inciting some kind of
well, that's already illegal, and they should be held accountable.
The mainstream media, let's be real about this. The media isn't journalism, like he was saying. All it is not opinion based. It's not fact. It's not opinion.
Editorial.
It's all opinion, I should say. So
it's all opinion, right?
So I mean, now that they selected this JD Vance guy, I got to do my research on who that cat is.
Yeah, I pulled it up on my MacBook over here. I was trying to read, but I can't read and talk to you at the same time. But yeah.
Well, read what it says, dog. Educate us.
Let me see.
And for those that are joining in, tapping in, hey, thanks a lot for coming on in here, man. Show some love, give me a like, and I appreciate y'all being here. I'm small, but I'm growing, baby. Give me some time, and I'll be up there. All I got to do is keep grinding.
Oh man, you'll keep grinding. You'll see that like most YouTube channels alone, and I know you're on different platforms, but most YouTube channels alone takes a couple years for them to pop off. But you keep grinding, you're gonna get there.
Gunner says everything is broke down and up for interpretation. It's up to us as media consumers to read between the lines.
And that I 1000% agree with. That I 1000% agree with, because I don't want to start getting into a place where we say, take them off the air, or hey, don't say this, because while I don't agree with what they're saying, I don't want the next president to be the opposite of me and my party views, and then him be able to do that to me or the person that I rely on for information.
Right.
An informed person is going to listen to both sides, right? They're going to listen to this side, that side, and then do their fact checking and find the middle ground, because both sides have their biases, and both sides are going to tell you what they want you to hear and not all of it.
See, myself, I like I always say, I give uninformed opinions because I'm too lazy to read shit, and I just go off of what I hear. You know what I mean? That's why I go with the word on the streets, baby. I just go off how I feel and what I like. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's all about who the best liar is.
What I really want to do with this Vance dude is I want to look up his voting record, and that's going to tell me more what I need to know about him, the bills that he voted yes on, the bills he voted no on. That's going to tell me more what I need to know about him, because this is the biggest decision Trump's ever going to make. Because if someone is to assassinate this man, especially if he wins and he becomes president and they assassinate him, this is going to be the next leader of the world, and this is going to be the most important thing out of all of it. Well, now, he made his choice. I can't change that. But I want to know what type of person will be running this country potentially if something were to, God forbid, happen to Trump.
So far from what I know is what I saw, which was he was a never Trumper at one time, and now he's rolling with Trump. So that's cool. I wanted Tulsi to be there. I really did. I love you, Tulsi. But I hope that he at least gives her a cabinet assignment, whether it's SecDef, whether it's something with foreign affairs. Because, dude, the thing I like about her is that she was a soldier, and she won't fucking lead us, or at least she knows how to avoid getting into a war. You know what I'm saying?
No, I like Tulsi. I like Tulsi, especially in that regard. And Tulsi's over the years has the way the left has treated her. Like I was telling you, they pushed her more to the middle. I wouldn't even consider Tulsi a liberal anymore. The liberals don't consider Tulsi a liberal anymore. So I like Tulsi. There's some things I got to remember what she said that I didn't agree with, but I think it was on immigration. I can't remember her stance on immigration, but there was something on immigration I didn't agree with her on.
Well, here's the thing, though. Again, in politics, bro, like in everything in life, you can't always get what you want.
Right.
But if you can give me enough, you get what you need. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. The homeboy Gunner said, I was supportive of Candace Owens as VP, but Trump, I'm sure, is well informed. Candace,
you saw his cabinet, but I got no issue with Candace. But you saw his cabinet picks his first term. He made some terrible choices.
But I thought he made one great choice.
And who was that?
And that was with General Mattis. And that's because I respect General Mattis. You know what I'm saying? I respect him. But
I liked Bill Barr as the DOJ. Like I didn't, as Attorney General, I didn't like everything he did, but also I don't know who would have done a better job as the Attorney General of the DOJ. So I don't know. Like I like Bill Barr.
Who's the idiot? Hey, DC, who's the idiot? I want to know if you could just let me know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got it.
I want to know who the idiot is myself.
Oh, yeah. He said, I don't know, but I'm going back to
Let's not talk about that idiot.
Yeah. But what did Tulsi did it? And in that, she could 100%.
No, yeah, Tulsi's a very beautiful woman. What was I saying? Candace Owens, I don't know. I it's hard with these political figure talking heads, right? Like there's no record for you to go off of like a senator. You can see how they voted,
right?
Did they vote for their constituents? Did they vote what their constituents wanted? That's going to tell you more about
I would think that that's what they liked about Candace is the fact that she is not in the political realm. or she's
Right,
not
but
a politician,
right, but she's also
career politician.
but she's also a paid voice. Now, I don't dislike Candace, but she's a paid voice. We don't know what she would actually do, and you can say the same for Trump. We didn't know what he would actually do, right? But it's still a risk where a senator is also a risk, right? Like they could be paid for it. They could have been paid and bought for it. But if you look at their voting record, like let's say you look at Senator Ted Cruz's voting record, you're very, very sure that you know that he's going to do what his constituents want of him versus whatever he's paid to do.
So
It's pros and cons with everything.
So Jacob Shear says she's
I don't know how
gun
she's a
grabber.
gun grabber. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's talking about
grabber.
Candace
I've
or
never seen that.
Tulsi.
Tulsi might be.
Gary says, do you think he was led to pick those people as his cabinet by someone else, or maybe just wanted to go against the grain and not listen to people when they recommended cabinet members?
I think his first term, he was 100% misguided. He's a guy that's never been in politics, becoming the president. I think now he'll do a lot better of a job. But I think when he first won, he was misguided. He didn't know what he was doing, so he had to lean on people telling him, "Hey, this person's good for this job, or this person's good for that job," and they fucked him over royally with a lot of the cabinet picks. Now, granted, he was quick to fire and hire people, but I think if he would have fired Fauci way sooner, a lot of things would have been different.
Look,
honestly, I do. He could have. He had the power to.
Bro, I'm 100% in the camp that had it not been for the Rona, we would have been talking about the next fucking president.
Right.
Somebody
other than Biden or Trump. He would have had two. Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. I agree.
He handled that shit fucked up. He did. But again, what to me, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm more of an independent, leans to the right. And Gunner says, I'm just a proponent for someone who's not a career politician. I agree with that, bro. 100. But at the same time, we do need some people that have a little bit of knowledge of how the inner circle works, because that's the only way that we can get things, negotiated.
I follow his sentiment, right? Like, I don't want career politicians either. I don't want guys that have been in the Senate, and in the Congress for 15, 20 years.
There needs to be term limits.
There absolutely needs to be term limits, but they're the ones who write the law. So why would they write a law to give themselves a term limit? But I also don't think that every single politician is crooked. I think that if you look at someone's voting records and they're voting the way you want them to, that's a big, big sign to tell you, hey, okay, I can probably trust this guy. Right. Even if you look at, let's say, Ron DeSantis, you look at him and you say, hey, this guy has created policies in Florida that I agree with and I would like to model the country around.
Right.
Now he goes out there, he speaks, and then he does what he says he's going to do. There's a high possibility that Ron DeSantis would, if he were to be president, follow through on what he says he's going to do. And it's going to be for the better of the country. That's how I look at it. Now, I know that not all politicians you can hold to that standard, but that's how I look at it.
So I'm gonna have to do some research about Tulsi not being for the Second Amendment. I got to see exactly.
I think that might have been it, especially me with my 2A.
Oh yeah,
that might have been why I didn't like her.
There's a reason we live in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it depends. Like how far are we talking about the 2A? Are we talking about that she's gonna be like fucking that idiot that said, I'm gonna come for your AKs, I'm gonna come for all your fucking your weapons that don't even know the difference between semi-automatic and automatic?
Oh, that's the motherfucker from Texas.
The one from El Paso.
Francis.
Beto.
Yeah, Beto. O'Rourke. Francis O'Rourke was his real name. He somehow changed it to
Is
Beto.
it O'Rourke? Yeah. Oh, well, he grew up around Mexicans, so. Yeah, I don't know what her stance is completely, but hopefully he does put her in some kind of cabinet because I think that she would be at least a good nominee for 28, depending on what happens between now and then.
Well, and the good thing about being in a cabinet versus like being a senator or a congressman is you're appointed by the president and you still have to do what he says, right? And you can be fired.
Right.
Right. So like let's say she does try to do some sucker shit with some guns or something. he could be like, no, you're not doing that. And if she doesn't want to abide by it, well, you're fired.
Jeffrey Carrimer. AR stands for
AR stands for
rifle.
Armalite. It
Oh
stands for
my!
Armalite.
No. Yeah, but there's a lot of folks out there that have no idea what AR stands for, and they'll say it's automatic rifle. Like, really? Do you know what an automatic rifle actually is? God damn, the M16 isn't even a fucking automatic rifle.
Nope, it's a 3-round burst.
Dog, I mean, let me ask you. Now that we're here and we're talking about these things, if Biden was to drop, and I'm not talking about drop,
but no, I know what you mean. Drop from the race, yeah.
Yeah, who do you think would be next to step up as far as like on the Dem side?
I think the only person that still wouldn't be able to win, but they can rally some votes behind, they have to be Gavin Newsom.
See, I was thinking the same thing.
I can't picture, because it's not going to be Kamala. No one likes Kamala, and really no one likes Gavin Newsom, but for some reason, I don't know if it's his good looks or whatever, some Democrats seem to like him, but the Democrats are fucked. There's nothing they can do, I think, in my opinion. There's nothing they can do right now. They've made their bet, now they got to lie in it. You know what I mean? Like, Biden was who they helped, in my opinion, cheat Trump out of his last election, and Biden is the person they went with. I think he's an extension of Obama. I don't think Biden is making any shots or calling any shots. I think he's doing whatever Obama wants him to do, or Clinton. And well, they made that bet. Now they got to lay in it. And now this guy, even if he drops out, I think dropping out would be the worst thing, because there's such a process, right? Like, the American people have to have their say,
right?
And it's too late in the game for the American people to have their say. So Biden would have to drop out, and then someone else would have to step up, and then it wouldn't really be the people's pick, right? Because the people picked Biden, so they're screwed. I think they're screwed.
But dude, the people picked Biden, and Biden is not.
Yeah, the dead people. The dead people picked Biden.
The thing about Biden is that he's not going to quit, is because they keep telling him how much of a great job he did the last 4 years. And he's like, I still. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's too much of a narcissist to quit. He's not gonna. He won't step down at all. So that means they would have to invoke the 25th, and then it becomes a whole big deal. That it's just they know they have no shot. I think they're gonna take this one on the chin, and they're gonna hope that they can win the Senate and Congress and basically block Trump every step of the way. I think that's what they're hoping for.
I really hope not. I really, really, really hope not. That
red wave that was supposed to happen in 2020, I see it coming in 2024. I do. I see it.
I'm not even going to predict anything like that.
I see it coming, man. I see it coming. I think a lot of people are fed up.
Jacob Cheers said, "Big Mike Obama." Obama. Hey, we don't want Mike Obama.
now that's to me one of the most ridiculous things that people have come out with is Michelle is a man. Like the photos that they've shown as evidence, that's all fucking been photoshopped. Like it's funny.
It's funny as fuck, though.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yo, I think I was I was fucking trolling Hunt yesterday with that. As far as like calling him Michael Obama.
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, it's ridiculous, and it kind of puts you in the same, I guess, realm of the Democrats who kind of say some outlandish shit about Trump.
Yeah, I feel you. I wish candidates weren't in their late 60s, bro. 100%.
I wish that. Now 60s, I'm kind of okay with 60s, but once you get like past 65, and he said late 60s, so I guess I agree with him. But once you get past like 65, you're like, we need. If you're elected twice, that's 8 years. You're way too old.
So here's my my thing. I talked about it with Hunt yesterday as well. If we have a cap on how young a president could be, or needs
we should have a cap on how old they can be.
On how old they can be, and I believe that cap is 62 on your first fucking. You can't be no older than 62 on your first term, because that way, when you're done, if you do all 8 years, you'll be out at 70.
Yeah,
and that's it. And that's the age that they're trying to raise our fucking retirement to anyway.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. So I think that right there is a good fucking
I see no issue with that
compromise. Yeah. I think that's a good compromise. And honestly, we don't need geriatrics in there. We really
I
don't.
agree.
We need new blood. We need people that need to stop thinking like they did in the 50s and 60s. You know, now people will say, well, yeah, people change their they can change their ideologies. I get it, but it's still going to be ingrained in it. And also, they're just changing it for the votes. It's not really what they changed. Like, dude, every time I think about that fucking Nancy Pelosi picture where she's fucking taking a knee dressed up like a fucking African,
Yeah,
bitch,
that
are you
cringe
for real?
shit. Yeah.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi is the worst.
Hey, let's go back to the conspiracy theories real quick, bro. I want to show this video real quick to those that are viewing us here. Hey, again, thank you guys for being here. Do me a solid and if you haven't done so, tap that like button. I don't care if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of y'all, but hey, it helps the algorithm.
And comments.
And comments, yes, please comment. Let's see, where is my? There we are. Sorry, I'm still retarded when it comes to this. Yo, speaking about retarded, what you think about that Eminem album, bro?
Boy, don't you get me started on that shit, bro. Listen, I'm the biggest fan there is. I'm the biggest fan there is. I was up at 11 o'clock because it came out 11 o'clock Central Time. I was up at 11. I heard that album. I went to sleep listening to that album over and over and over again.
I fucking pre-ordered it, so at 11.
And Eminem is a giant fucking asshole liberal, but I still fuck with his music.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, let me see if I can find a better.
Oh, is this the guy that predicted?
No.
Have you seen that one?
Nope.
There was a guy that predicted months ago. I think it was like 6 months ago. Predicted that Trump was gonna get shot. It was gonna graze his ear. Like it was to the T. He was gonna get down on a knee. It was to the. It's insane.
Check this out. Here we
Look
go.
it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen this one.
There he is, right there.
They got the shooter
Right
on
there,
the roof
see him?
right there.
He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
What's happening?
They tried getting people's attention.
Yeah, look. There he is.
He's right there. Look at him. He's getting up. How?
Bear crawling, yeah.
He's telling people, like there's people telling him there's somebody on the roof. Look at him up there. Fuck.
Look, they're all
Bro, it boggles my fucking mind. It boggles my fucking mind, bro, how people aren't seeing the realities that this, I still believe this was a fucking inside job. It was an inside job. So
yeah, I don't know what you mean by inside. Inside, you mean like government? I agree if you think it was the government. Yeah, I agree. I think so too.
Oh, I don't believe that there was like others are saying that Trump. Okay,
right.
Let's talk
That's
about
when you say inside.
Hunt.
That's what I think about. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's talk about our boy Hunt. Hunt said that he thinks that it's something that he would have probably had that Trump probably had done. I don't care how great of a fucking marksman you are. I don't care if you're part of the President's 100 or anybody that doesn't know the President's 100. You have to be fucking expert. Fucking
that was my argument.
Rifleman.
Even under the best conditions, I would not allow someone to do that.
No,
there's just too many variables that could go wrong. Right, there's too many variables.
I'll give you a shot to my chest. I'll give you that one because I'm wearing a vest. But my dome, nah, homie, that's not gonna happen. You know. And then
what did Hunt say back to that? He said, God, I wish I could remember what he said back to that because I had something to say back to that, but I didn't. I don't think I said it. He had his own hypothetical from some other scenario that I can't remember now off the top of my head.
So Kramer's going back to the Eminem feud. The Eminem dude, he
mentions Melly Mel on the album.
Yeah, he did with before this album. If you haven't seen it, I recommend. Oh, I seen it. And then Roland is saying, he sat Melly down and gave him a talking to. Bro,
he said Melly Mel's a legend. He shouldn't get no reply. Bitch, so am I.
So am I, bro. I'll tell you what. The whole album, if he was to be done with music at this point, I'm good.
Oh, don't say that. No, don't say that.
I'm good with it. Bro, I'm good with it. Because this album is honestly some of the best work that he's done. Not just because I love the motherfucker. But hey, what's going on? College Station. All right, we're over here in San Antonio. and my boy lives
Killeen.
out there in the Fort Hood area, or Cavazos now.
Port Cavazos, yeah.
Fucking retarded ass shit. Yeah, that really changed everything out there, right? You know, speaking about Fort Hood, you know, this Diana Guillen thing is never gonna die out. You know,
No.
and I wish people knew
They put her name at
more.
the fucking gate.
I saw that. I wish people knew that there was more to it than what y'all are believing. You know,
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that I know, but I know.
Listen,
that know.
I'm no apologist for the military, but I don't know, man. I don't know how much the military really had to do with that. My thing is, what the fuck were they doing on a weekend opening the fucking armory?
So, word on the streets is that so her and that black dude, they had a thing going on.
I know that,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so word on the streets is she found out that that black dude was fucking with that white chick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the ugly fat bitch, yeah.
Right. So word on the streets is that she was gonna drop a dime because that fat one was married to another soldier.
Which wouldn't have mattered.
Right. But it would have mattered to him.
No, he
The
wasn't
black
married.
dude. No, but she was the fat white chick.
Right. The fat
So-
white chick wasn't in the military.
Right. No,
This
but
guy, okay, this guy isn't married. He's sleeping with someone else's wife. The military's not going to give a shit about that.
bullshit, homie. If he's fucking,
He's not the adulterer.
Hold on.
He's
No, but
not the
that-
adulterer, though.
I'm not saying military wise it would affect him. I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
that he probably didn't want to get busted, you know, for fucking, you know, for being Jody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, they got into an argument per se inside the arms room because I believe he was the
But
armor.
why is he was the armor? Why was the arms room open? And there's logs. You can
Bro,
see the time it was
because
open, the time it
motherfucker-
was closed.
Exactly, because look, when you go to for those that don't know, the arms room is controlled by an armorer. The armorer doesn't have the keys to the armor room. He has to go to the fucking battalion to get the keys from the
Right,
staff
from the
duty,
first
NCO.
sergeant. Yep.
So here's the thing, though. All he has to do is go to staff duty. 9 times out of 10, he's gonna know who the runner is or who the NCO is on staff duty. He's gonna be like, "Hey, man, I need to go to the arms room. I gotta go do a fucking quick check for the battery commander regarding fucking some missing items." You know what I'm saying? Because he's got his month is coming up. So he'll just go to the arms room, call homegirl. They meet up. He bangs on the fucking head with a hammer, puts her in a tough box, rolls her out, and buries her. But you know what I'm trying to get at is I wish they didn't try to make it sound like this was like an innocent thing on her end. Now I'm not trying to smut her name, but I'm also trying to say like there's more to what y'all.
No, her family
Chris,
jumped to hella conclusions and all
They're
types of
saying that
theories
there's a
and
cover
shit.
up. They're saying
Yeah.
it's a cover up, that there's fucking SA involved and whatnot. Like, see, that's where I
Well, the
disagree.
person she claimed SA on, which to me is a red flag in itself. Let's not go there. But the person she claimed SA on wasn't even the armorer.
Exactly.
It was somebody else. It was somebody else in her chain of command.
Exactly.
So
And
what did
not only
that have
that-
to do with this at all?
And not only that, people were tripping out on the fact that they want, and then this goes back to what we were talking about earlier as far as like information flow, right? If CID is involved in something, you ain't gonna hear about it until their case is
Right.
fucking solid.
Right,
And
right, right.
CID was already involved
Mhm.
on following that dude. And then when that shit got out, guess what happened? That motherfucker went around running and popped himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
'Cause he
I
knew
remember
it was
watching
done.
it because he was on live when it, or the girl was on live when it happened.
So yeah, all I'm saying is there's a lot more to it, to that Diana Guillen thing. And I get it. A lot of people want to get in their feelings about it, but there's a lot more to it than there is out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways,
A lot of these soldiers that go missing or die, like it's coincidence. They
not
try to
only
blame it
that,
on the army.
they need to understand that there's protocol. You know, if a motherfucker is out of ranks, we're gonna call, you know, out of ranks or absent.
Mhm.
And then you don't get considered AWOL after the first day or two. You got to be fucking like 30 days, and then you get dropped from records. There's a lot of shit that goes into it.
Yeah,
You know,
they'll
you
tell
can't just
you
assume
your
it's
first sergeant will
kidnapping.
tell you you're AWOL if you're not here by tomorrow, but it's not.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. You have to do a
It
police
doesn't.
report and all that. I've had to deal with it. I had a guy actually go AWOL. One of my soldiers went AWOL when we was on rear D. It was
Mhm.
not an easy process, and I knew exactly where he went. I got him back,
Mhm.
and then we locked him up while we got him out. He was locked up the
Yeah.
whole time. We fucking got his ass out.
And Kramer says you're FTR until 30 days, then AWOL. Exactly. And AWOL,
Yep,
for those
yep.
who don't know, is absent without leave. But
Yep.
yeah, dude.
And FTR is
before
failure
we-
to report.
Yep. I'm an FTR specialist. Yeah, I bet you are, Kramer. Trust me, I remember, bro. I remember. You know, it was still good serving with you, Kramer. It was still good serving with you. I served with that dude back in Fort Carson. But hey,
I hear that
before we
place is
drop
beautiful.
off, man, I really have enjoyed this conversation with you today. I want to tell you that. And we need to do this again. And you know
For
what?
sure.
Maybe if you guys are down to it, we'll have both of y'all together. And we'll see what happens. I mean,
I
who
told him to
knows?
come here to my apartment, to my house.
Shit, y'all come out with fisticuffs, man. Shit.
No, see,
Y'all get-
me and Hunt got that way past this, and I don't even engage in political stuff anymore online. Or, I
know
used to every day. Every
remember.
day I was on it, but then I let that shit go because I realized I'm not changing anyone's mind, and all I'm doing is stressing myself out or breaking
Yourself out.
relationships. So I just like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna hold my opinions, man, and I'm not gonna hold it against other people who hold their opinions. And me and Hunt, we've been good ever since, man.
And I'll tell you what, one of the things that I like about this platform here is when I do this, I'm not trying to change I'm not trying to change the mind of the person I'm speaking. I'm just trying to give my opinions, my thoughts, and it's up to the person that's listening to either agree or disagree. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna say I'm gonna respect everybody's opinion always. In my mind, I'm like, man, this motherfucker retarded. But I'm gonna still be like, hey, more power to you, dog. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's been a great thing to talk with you today. You don't think this? Okay, let's circle back to Eminem real quick. You don't think it's? Oh, I'll tell you what. I was gonna do live reactions to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna go.
Oh, that'll
and
blow
react
you up quick.
Yeah, but I'm not a reactor when it comes to music, and it's already way late in the game to get into that.
Nah, let's me and you do it. Come on, I'll hop on with you. We'll break the bars down. Come on.
Shit.
It'll blow your channel up, but I'll hop on with you.
Hey, you start the channel and I'll join you, dog. But no, what tripped me out is I listened to all of it, and there's a couple of songs that really, were fucking fire. Fuel. Fire.
Yes, that's my favorite one.
I'll tell you what, my favorite song out of the whole fucking album, my favorite
Haley one.
Save Me. Somebody save me. The one where
no, that's with Jelly Roll.
With Jelly Roll. Yes.
The one I liked was the one where he wrote to her as if he was dead. Yes. Oh my God. Temporary. That hit me. I was tearing up, man, because I think about my kids.
That's why I didn't I was glad I didn't, bro. I listened to it and I was like, hey, bro, no homo, but I was in my feels on that one because I'm a father of 2 girls and 1 boy. And, and I'm just listening to him and then the voice, what really does it.
That one was deep because that one's deep because he's talking about his addiction.
Right.
Not just the one that I really liked was he was talking to her as if he was leaving her a message after he dies.
Right.
Which isn't as deep as him talking to his kids, all 3 of them, about his addiction. You know what I mean? How he fucked up. And
not only that, bro, but I think the fact that he talked about it on the first part of it, the way I understood it, the first part of the song, it's him talking as if he had OD'd and died. You see what I'm saying? And then in the middle is the same thing, of what he had missed, what he would have missed. And then on the last, it's him talking about how he actually was able to fucking overcome it per se and actually be there for it. So I love the flip on it. It's kind of like when you hear Adam's song from Blink-182. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it's about suicide, but at the end he fucking talks himself out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I just dug it. But what I loved the most about it was the Jelly Roll. Because Jelly Roll sings from the fucking, and I forgot about that song. It's been a while since I had heard it, bro. So when I heard the lady, I'm a lost cause, when I hear that type of shit, it hits me in the feels because I know there's a lot of veterans like us that, can relate. And I know he was talking about the drugs on this song, but it made me think about how much my alcoholism, for example, had done damage to my family. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So, oh shit. You know what, Kramer? You're right. I have to tap in on this one. Guilty Conscious 2. 2?
Yeah, the way it was Eminem and Slim Shady back and forth. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
And that's what I thought fucking the Houdini was gonna be. Like, because how he had like the 2000 Slim Shady.
Like
and
they were gonna
then,
battle each other. Yeah.
Yes, but when Guilty Conscience 2 came out, bro, fucking chef's kiss.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I don't think it's better than Guilty Conscience, but it is a great song.
Guilty
yeah.
Conscience lyrically is just great, because
Yeah, and what
him
Dre and right.
But I just like the way that the Guilty Conscience on this one is between him and his
Slim.
conscience.
Yeah, Slim and Eminem.
Yep. So, all right, fellas, I enjoyed this, dog. I hope you enjoyed the
Yeah,
time
we'll do it
with me
again.
here. Yeah, we definitely have to, brother. Especially as we're both two retired, stay-at-home Mr. Moms, or as my daughters call me, the man wife. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this live stream with myself and Lopez here. I am D-Lo, also known as Lopez.
See, and I go by D-Lo, but D-L-O.
I'm D-E-L-O-W. So with that being said, hey, for those of y'all that came over here, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for whatever contribution you did. The comments, I like this. I hope we keep doing this. So if y'all dig this, let me know. Hit me up, and I'll be with you, man. Dope shirt, by the way. Hey, thanks. Wait, you talking to me or to him? I don't know who Goku is, but this is my shirt. Right?
Don't tell me you don't know who Goku is.
I'm 46 years old.
Bro, this was out before I was even born. It was the last show was on like 89 for Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, Dragon Ball Z. Was it on regular television or was it on cable?
It was on Toonami. It was on. It's a Japanese manga, but it came out dubbed in.
Yeah. Do you know what the only Japanese shit I ever watched was Robotech, and that was because it's on regular TV, and that was in the early '80s, mid '80s.
I get it. So you're one of those. I had 3 channels, and one of them was cable.
I'm sorry, youngster. Have you even broke 30 yet, little guy?
I'm 35. Yeah.
Oh, you're 35. How cute. Damn. Anyways, on the real side, thanks a lot, Lopez, as always. Dope shirt, by the way.
Yeah, we'll catch up, man.
It's mine. But and it was good catching back up with you. We'll definitely have to hit it back again. I'll get in touch with fucking with old Hunt Teasy. And if you're down and he's down, we'll clown around together. All right.
That's a bet, bro. Be easy, man.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thanks for everything. And Robotech, laughing my ass off. I got a shirt of one of those books free recently. Hell yeah. All right. And I guess everybody's out of here, so I'm out of here too. Deuces, fellas. Thanks for hanging out here with your homeboy Lolo.